Good morning guys, how are y'all doing? I hope you're having an amazing day. The title of this video is Who's Lucky? My life story. I've been getting a bunch of messages from you guys asking me how I got the name, how did this whole thing happen, how did all of this blogging, YouTubing thing get started? So I'm here today to share that story with you guys. So if you don't want to hear the story, you can skip till the end. I don't know what time, but you can skip till the end and understand how I got the name. But it's not how I got the name that's important, it's the story behind it, because Lucky is not just my name, it's how I decided to change my life. It's the kind of new person that I decided I would be. And that's why I can't wait to share the story with you guys, because I think it's going to inspire, and hopefully it's going to inspire you guys to make a change and live the life you really want. Because I would not be here if it wasn't for that change that I've made. Lucky Adventure, the hitchhiking thing, the blogging, YouTube, none of this would have ever existed if it had not made that one small switch into my life. And that's what I'm here to share with you guys. So a little introduction about myself before I get started. I'm a 22-year-old male model. I'm a blogger, YouTuber, a personal trainer, an inspiring life coach. I hope to one day speak on stages in front of thousands of people like Tony Robbins does, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, just a bunch of people that I look up to. And yeah, my goal in life is to inspire people to live their life to the fullest. I don't want people just to survive in this thing we call life. I want them to have fun, live life with fulfillment, with the love, with the people that they love. And that's why I am doing this channel, right? Mind, body, adventure. So training the mind, training the body, and living life with fulfillment. And for me, it was doing hitchhiking and hiking, which more of this is going to come during the summer. So guys, welcome to my story. Let's get started. What's up guys? Welcome to my dungeon, Harry Potter closet. So I'm going to share my story with you guys. So how it all started. I don't know if I should be telling that part actually. I met this girl off of Instagram. Let's put it that way. We won't say her name. We went to go have coffee on the first time, and the second time we went to go watch a movie. So we went to her place and we put The Secret. I know, not the type of movie we usually watch, but I've watched The Secret. I've never seen it before, so I was kind of curious. I heard all the hype about it. I heard that my dad read the book, so I was just wondering how it was going to be. Was I going to learn from this? And just a little background information. I was a bodybuilder. I just started modeling, so I was still a little bit, more superficial, flexing on tables and stuff. So I wasn't necessarily the person that I am today. I've changed a lot in the past year and a half. And yeah, my life wasn't going nowhere. I took off school because it wasn't for me. I wasn't a school guy, and I didn't think that it would bring me where I wanted to go, and I didn't even know where I wanted to go. That's the worst part. I'm actually going to be making a video about this, of educational system, how it's not helping us in life. Anyways, another video. But yeah, so I've watched The Secret, and closed-minded person, really superficial, not going anywhere, and just in his little bubble, not wanting to get out of my comfort zone. So when I watched that movie, I was saying, think about stuff that you want to attract. And I had money problems at the time, so I thought about an amount of money in my head. I was like, I'll say it's $5,000. I was like, I need $5,000 to pay off my debts. So what I did is I kept thinking about it. After that, I was like, I don't have nothing to lose, right? Obviously the money's not going to appear that way, but I'm thinking that if I think about it, I'll see more opportunities to make it happen. So I started thinking about 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. And about a week after that, I get a message from my friend on Facebook saying that she moved to Alberta in Canmore, and that she was making close to that amount of money per month, saying $5,000 per month. And I was like, well, that's my number, but that can't be possible. It's nothing. So I put that on the side, and I kept thinking about it, thinking 5,000, 5,000. And then a couple days after that, I received another message from my friend that moved to Alberta, saying that her boyfriend was making $5,000 a month working on their rigs. And I was like, well, that's twice within a week. And I'm like, the way my life is going, I don't really have nothing to lose, and plus I need change. So I was like, if it happened twice that way, it has to be a sign. And crazy like I am, I acted upon that sign, and I booked a one-way ticket for Alberta. It was not even something that I could do because I had many payments coming in, so I had to, as soon as I got my payment, I had to take the money out so that the payment wouldn't eat it up. And with that money, I bought my plane ticket and I kept $100 cash for me to have when I was there. And it sounds crazy now that I'm saying it, but when I booked those flights, those payments didn't go through, obviously, so I had more debts in my account. And that was it. On January 15, 2015, I left Quebec. I left Ottawa for Alberta. My first trip on my own. I was never an adventurer. I was never a guy that would take risk, but it just sounded like something that I had to do. So when I got to Alberta, I lived in Calgary for a while, and then remember that my uncle lived up north. So he came to see me. We had some food. We had to the restaurant, and then we talked about maybe that I could work for him up north. And he's like, yeah, for sure. So, he has his own company. So I went to go work with him, moved in with him, worked with him until for a good 2-3 months. And then, started making some money, paying off my debts. And then he took his honeymoon vacation. And that's what kind of like switched stuff up there, because I was just going to work there and figure it out after that. But I said, might as well go to Banff in backpack, right? Just go see Banff on my own and see what happens. So I booked a couple nights in a hostel. And when I went there, I started hiking mountains, and that's where my love for hiking came, because I never really hiked mountains before that. But being there, I was like, oh, might as well do it. And I climbed 7 mountains in 7 days when I was there. It was an amazing experience. And at the hostel, I was eating breakfast. I was reading my Bible at that time, and a guy named Florian Schwartz talked to me that same morning, asking me like about religion and stuff. And we kept on talking, but it just stayed at that. So for the rest of my trip, I just hiked mountains. And on my last day, he was in the cafeteria looking for a camper van, right? Something that he could travel with. So I thought about the idea before, buying a Dodge Caravan, putting a mattress in the back, and just traveling with that. So I pitched him the idea. So I helped him look for a car as well. So I helped him look for a car. I even test drive some cars with him. And before we left, we became good buddies, and we're just like, he's just like, well, I would, if you're welcome to come, man, if you want to. So I was like, that sounds like another crazy idea, but this whole trip was crazy. So what I did is I said yes. I called my uncle. I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna be leaving for 3-4 weeks. The trip lasted. What I did is I came back, worked a little bit, and then left with him. And we went from Banff. Actually, they picked me up at the intersection of Banff and Jasper. I had to hitchhike all the way there, and then we went to a place, I forgot the name of the town though, it was in BC. We rented a cabin up in the woods for my buddy's birthday, which I met in Banff as well, Connor, and we had to hike like 6 kilometers, I think, just to get to the cabin. We had an amazing weekend, hiked back down, went back to Banff, prepared the van, and from the van we left and did all of BC, Revelstoke, Hope, up to Vancouver, and that took us about like a good 5-6 days. And up to Vancouver, we decided to go up north. We went up to Squamish. Maybe some of you guys are from Squamish or you've went before, but it's a beautiful place. And I was actually looking for a spot to park for free because we were living in the van, right? So I found one on Google, first one on top. It was like a random forum that somebody wrote on it. So if you go there and you turn left in the woods for so many kilometers, and then if you park there and you walk through the woods, there's a big open space. It's a nice camping spot. We were there, it's like 11, 12 at night. It's pitch black, it's scary. I asked my buddy Flo, it was so scary that night. It was insane. There was a moose in the middle of the road. Anyways, we slept in the car that night, but the next day we decided to head out. And when we headed out, we actually walked through the woods, and there was a big open beach. The mountains, it was beautiful. I should post pictures right now of it. And we met a guy named Reese that was there. Amazing guy, open-minded, spiritual. Reese was so cool, and I'm so glad we had to talk with him, because from him seeing us that we lived in a van, he did his own adventure, and he's doing that right now, living in a van, traveling BC, hiking mountains, skiing, fishing, everywhere. Which is, I'm really proud of him, because he took action and decided to change his life. But from that trip, me and my buddy Flo were talking, and we're like, no, Florian Schwartz, we call him Flo, so he had kind of a hippie name. So we're trying to come up one for me, but what he said was, since I was using the law of attraction, since I've learned it, that's what brought me to that point. It's like, since you always see the good side of things, you always seem to be lucky. And that's where it started. So we went with Lucky. Lucky was my name. Just since then, I presented myself as Lucky. First of all, when I was hitchhiking, it was safer for me because I had a name to protect me. You know, it was cool, it was catchy, it was falling into my values of what brought me there. It's because law of attraction, I was thinking it, seeing the positive side of things, and it would be attracted to me. And Lucky stuck. And from there, we did the rest. We went back down to Vancouver, crossed to Vancouver Island, Nanaimo, went to Tofino, and I think down to Ucluelet, I think that's how you say it. Did the whole island, went back down to Victoria. This whole trip lasted about a good 4 weeks. Yeah. At the end of this clip, you'll see a bunch of pictures from our trip. But from there, I had to fly to Milan because I had booked for a modeling contract over there. So from there, went to Europe, and in Europe, I was like, since I was already presenting myself as Lucky, I decided to stick with it. And by the way, Lucky was written with a Y at the end. I had to change it for legal reasons also, and for design reasons that I'll explain later. So anyways, went to Europe for a good 2 months and a half, presented myself as Lucky because that was kind of my new identity. That's what brought me there. That's what brought me to Milan. That's what brought me to meet Flo and all those amazing people that I met on the road. So I decided to stick with it. When I was in Europe, presenting myself as Lucky. People call me Lucky Lucky. And at first, it was kind of weird. But you know, I got used to it, and I love it now because every time somebody says Lucky, it represents the change that I've made in my life, and it represents the vision that I have for my life and for other people's life. So yeah, I went to Europe, went to Germany to go see Flo because he came back from the trip after he did Vancouver. Then that I left, he drove down to LA and stayed there for a couple months. Went back to Germany, which is his hometown. Went to go see him, lived with him for a couple weeks, and just had a blast, and you know, made a lifelong friend. Randomly talking to a guy in the cafeteria while I was reading my Bible. I feel so blessed to have met this guy. Amazing dude. He's gonna change so many things in this world, working towards bettering the environment, and I'm so happy and proud of him. But yeah, after I came back from Europe, I came back here to my parents' place, which I haven't been to in a good 8 months. Yeah, a good 8 months. And from there, when I came back, I was used to, you know, traveling everywhere, living in a van, hitchhiking, being in Europe. And I found it kind of boring being in my parents' place. You know, on the couch, the TV again. I didn't watch TV for like 8 months. Sorry. So what I did is I went on Instagram, and you know, I changed my name to Lucky on Instagram. Decided to kind of do something with it. Started my own blog when I was in Europe. Was Lucky's Life before, now it's Lucky's Adventure. So I just, yeah, exactly. I was writing about my trips, my experiences, life lessons that I've learned along the road. And I was going on Instagram, yeah, exactly. And I saw one of my friends that was on top of a mountain. I was like, wow, I still love mountains. I miss hiking it. I didn't do a lot when I was in Europe. I was like, I'm gonna go hike that mountain. Where is it? So I found that it was in Mont Tremblant. And for those of you where I live right now, I live in Mont Tremblant right now. So from that picture, I decided that I would hitchhike in up to there, which is a good like 2 hours from my parents' house. But I've never hitchhiked in Quebec. Hitchhiking in Quebec and Alberta and BC, it's completely different. It is not the same thing. So hitchhiking here, I actually met some amazing people just coming up here for my first time. I think I got 3 or 4 rides coming up here. And the last guy that dropped me was gonna drop me at the mountain. I was gonna go sneak in, you know, sleep on the mountain, and the next day figure out whatever I wanted to do. I had a couple days extra. So what happened is, when they dropped me off, I was posting pictures as I went with Lucky's Adventure. Taking a picture with the people that gave me a ride, saying where I was at. And one of my friends from high school was following me, and he told me, like, hey man, I live here. You wanna, you know, come over and hang out? It's been a couple years. I'm like, yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, right? Just going with the flow, law of attraction. And when I came here, I met his roommate, met up with him, and his roommate is actually the one who introduced Lucky with IE. You know, with the, I don't have my shirt with me, but with the planet on the eye. And it kind of went from there. The first piece of clothing, because he owned his clothing company, which we have everywhere in the apartment now, a bunch of machines. But it went from there, and then I met great people, and I was like, I would live here. I would live in this Harry Potter closet. I didn't have a lot of money at the time, but I was like, I need a change, I need something different, I need an adventure. So I was like, all right, I will move here if I get a job. So I printed my resumes the first time I came up, went to go deliver them, and I got an answer about 30 minutes after saying that I got the job. When can you start? I'm like, well, I'll go back, grab some more of my stuff, and then head back over here so I can start next week on like Saturday or something. So that's what happened. I went back down to my parents' house, back up here, and moved here. And I've been here since end of September, I believe, and now we're at the end of mid-February, so it's been a while, which is my longest that I've been at somewhere when I've been traveling. And I have about a month and a half left because I'm moving again, and that's what I'm discovering what my next adventure is. I have to go to LA, Vegas and LA, and then I don't know, I can go to Vancouver, Alberta, Toronto, Ottawa, anywhere. But basically, guys, I made a little list. But yeah, that is my story. That's how Luckie started. That's how I decided to, kind of do something with it and try to inspire people through that, because Luckie represents my story of how I changed my life and which made me discover the passion that I had to inspire others to live a better life and live with fulfillment. And that's why I'm doing all of this, because I have that feeling inside. I know that glimpse of, of excitement that you get when you change your life and amazing stuff happens, and I want everybody to feel that spark in their life. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you now understand why my name is Luckie and what's behind Luckie. There's a bunch of projects coming up concerning mind, body training, and adventure, living life with fulfillment. I can't wait to share this with you guys. I can't wait to help you start changing your life. If you have any questions, you can comment in the box below, or you can shoot me an email at luckielifestyle@gmail.com. And guys, thank you for listening. Have an amazing day, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps my channel grow and helps other people see this, so the message can reach out to more people and change more life. That's the only reason I want to grow, is to reach more people and change more lives. There's a bunch of people out there that don't even know that Luckie exists. They need to know that Luckie exists. Guys, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.